Stick with me here. You are about to witness total madness. At the sect tournament, everyone worships darling Eli, who just struck me down with his master's sword. Looks like you are losing this one, senior brother. I cough up red, visibly trembling. My dignity is being ground into the absolute dirt. I simply cannot lose like this. So, I reach straight into my storage ring and pull out an AK-47. The cold black barrel flashes, and the sect disciples instantly erupt into mocking laughter. What is that bizarre thing? Has losing his spirit root driven Ash completely insane? He seriously just pulled out random scrap metal. Eli puts on a fake show of reluctance. Senior brother, if you just concede and hand over that jade spirit mushroom, we'll go easy. Otherwise, I would hate for my blade to hurt you worse. I simply stroke the cold steel of my AK-47. Deep down inside my soul space, I roar out, system, get out here and explain. Player, we got sent to the wrong world. But hey, a mission is a mission. Same job. Totally different world. It is no big deal. Are you completely out of your mind? I got the Interstellar Realm script. Before dropping here, the system swore up and down our next destination was absolutely the Interstellar Realm. My one and only mission is surviving to the very end. To survive a universe of bullets and laser fire. I spent every single point earned across my missions, converting them straight into standard interstellar grade futuristic weapons. Aircraft, particle guns, healing serum, laser cannons, literally everything I could ever need. My entire dimensional warehouse was stuffed to the absolute brim with every weapon imaginable. Even the corners were totally packed with plump little atomic bombs, nuclear weapons, hydrogen bombs, and tear gas canisters. You and I are about to see this backfire. My unreliable system dumps me into a cultivation realm, a world where people train using pure spirit energy. What use are massive atomic bombs here? I blew every single point for absolutely nothing. The system tries awkwardly appealing to my better judgment. Hey, there is no rule saying you cannot use this crazy stuff in cultivation. Besides, we hold the cannon fodder script. Just hold on until the story finishes and the mission ends. Why should I be mere cannon fodder? I will just drop a nuke and level the sect. If I go down, absolutely everyone goes down. Nobody walks away. Player, your spirit root is damaged. Your power literally cannot grow anymore. And your junior is running the beloved script. That basically means the story demands he constantly steps all over you, becoming the epic legend everyone always remembers. I almost laugh out loud. Last world, I was mowing down zombies with a machine gun. Chaos completely spraying right across my face. My racing heart had grown as hard as the crystal core inside a zombie skull. In this world, there is absolutely no way I'm quietly playing the role of someone else's stepping stone. I slowly raise my AK-47. 3 quick shots aim straight at everyone's darling Eli. I am going on the offensive, and I will definitely make it right through. Let us settle this once and for all. Are these foundation stage nobodies truly tough enough? Or are my 12 atomic bombs? This classic rifle is ancient by interstellar standards, basically scrap metal on any real battlefield. Even among ordinary people, it would be considered totally outdated trash. Now, this is the part you and I were waiting for. In this cultivation realm, pulling one trigger shatters reality. Boom! Eli has literally zero time to even react. His left arm is blasted completely clean through. The fancy spirit armor he wore is left with a charred, smoking hole. This precious gift from the master cannot handle rapid fire bullets. Eli freezes for just a few seconds, then screams in total agony. He instantly clutches his arm and crumples straight to the ground. Vera, who was hiding out in the audience, vaults onto the stage immediately. She pulls Eli hard against her chest. How dare you use a hidden weapon, Ash? Get on your knees and apologize to Eli right now. Her golden core stage pressure suddenly crashes down like a massive tidal wave, making my knees buckle. I hit the ground with a tremendously heavy thud. Every single bone inside my body groans and creaks loudly. One more second and I snap. I grind my teeth, forcing out exactly one sentence through the intense pain. If Eli lost, fine. I used a hidden weapon. But if I won, does that not mean Eli was the one ambushing me? The sheer contempt on Vera's face is impossible to hide. With your pathetic level of cultivation, who exactly do you think you can even beat? Eli just wants that jade spirit mushroom you are hoarding. Yet you keep dragging your feet. Some amazing senior brother you are. That jade spirit mushroom she is talking about? I dug it out of the freezing waste with my own bare hands. That trip nearly finished me. I almost got completely eaten by wild spirit beasts. I barely made it back with this life-saving medicine. Everyone in the cultivation realm knows a completely damaged spirit root means your path is finished. That single mushroom is the only thing standing between me and ruin. But the very moment I returned to the sect, Eli heard the news and marched straight to the master to demand it. So what do you and I think? He just wants a minor cultivation boost. A total luxury this kid does not even need. Stick with me, you and I are about to watch the ultimate payback. I refuse their ridiculous demand. Sect rules say if talking fails, the ring decides. Winner takes all the loser's precious treasure. The master, terrified his precious golden boy might lose, actually handed Eli his personal soulbound sword just to steal my life-saving medicine. And now today, during this exact match, the entire sect has been whispering behind my back. They call me absolutely selfish, completely unwilling to give our junior a single mushroom. I stare straight into Vera's eyes, dripping with pure contempt, speaking every single word very slowly. Short memory, Vera. My spirit root was shattered, saving all of you. A furious spirit beast did this to me just 2 weeks ago. Back in the secret realm, Eli carelessly provoked a massive spirit beast. Our entire group was seconds away from being totally wiped off the map. To save my fellow disciples, I pushed past my sickness, risking my life to lure that beast far away. That monster hunted me down for a full day and night. Not a single one of them ever came back to help me out. In the end, I threw absolutely everything at it and barely survived. But the toxic venom completely shattered my energy core into scattered pieces. Vera's face flickers for a second, then pure disgust floods right back, way heavier than before. That is your own fault for being too weak. Do not dare blame your broken spirit root on us. The very ingrates I just saved pile on, eagerly tripping over each other to agree. Exactly right. Your cultivation was just too weak. You could not handle one beast. Do not blame us for that. But Eli? Eli was incredible. He cheerfully motivated us the whole entire way while we ran for our lives. He even generously offered his spirit crane to carry everyone out safely. Still kneeling on the ground, I let out a slow, cold laugh. Truly everyone's precious, highly celebrated little darling. I risked my entire life drawing the beast far away, but in their eyes, the real ultimate hero was the guy who safely cheered from the back. My cold laugh definitely sets Vera off. She aggressively flicks her wrist with pure contempt. Watch closely now. Pure spirit energy fires from her fingertip, driving completely straight for my chest. Her gold core pressure completely pins me down. I cannot move a single muscle. The system watches this whole thing unfold, not concerned in the absolute slightest. Instead, it literally sighs with absolute satisfaction. It says this is exactly what the script needs. You are the stepping stone, remember? You must suffer until the final chapter. I yell to shut up. I slap the system hard across my soul space, tumbling it away. That incoming bolt of spirit energy stops completely dead in midair, less than 2 feet from my chest. A digital stream of code perfectly intercepts it, sending it shooting straight back. Before Vera can switch from pure contempt to sheer terror, the full force violently rebounds, slamming into her body and blasting her dozens of feet straight through the air. Eli, still caught up in her arms, is completely out of luck. He goes flying right along with her. They violently crash into the ground, rolling several times before skidding to a pathetic stop. That crushing, heavy pressure vanishes instantly. I just brush off the dirt and calmly rise back up to my feet. I quietly pull back my invisible device. It is a laser particle shield, standard interstellar realm protection. Local cultivators might proudly call it an iron shield, but training an iron body to be completely bulletproof takes at least 100 years of hardcore grinding. Me? I have 80 laser particle shields sitting around in my warehouse. I pop them whenever I want. Over there, Vera is seriously injured. You and I both know the best part. She has absolutely zero idea what just hit her. She clutches her chest, wheezing like a badly wounded animal. Every breath, a violent, ragged gasp. Ash, what kind of dirty trick was that? I spread my hands wide, flashing my absolutely most innocent face. Vera, your cultivation is just terribly weak. How can you blame me for your own failure? Maybe spend more time training. The word failure drops heavily, like a stone. The entire arena falls into absolute silence. Vera reached Gold Core stage at 30. She is the golden child, worshipped by everybody from top to bottom. And me? A foundation stage? Nobody with the shattered spirit. Root just took her down without even trying. I proudly stand on the stage looking down at Vera's utterly shocked face, completely unbothered. A bet is a bet, Vera. You lost today, so you owe me something incredibly valuable. Vera's jaw fully drops. She forcefully shouts at the top of her lungs. I never agreed to fight. I never stepped into this ring. I completely ignore her outrage, quickly plucking that soulbound sword right from her hands. I am kind enough to walk her through the rules. According to sect rules, absolutely anyone setting foot on the stage is fighting for a side. When you attacked me, you placed Eli's bet yourself. So now, it is your debt to pay. That single sentence leaves her completely speechless. She desperately wants to deny fighting for Eli, but seeing that pitiful, wounded look on his face makes it absolutely impossible for her to say a single word. As I casually toss the soulbound sword between my fingers, Vera's eyes suddenly light up with the crazy realization. She looks almost weirdly pleased with herself as she says, "Oh, so that is what this was all about. You just wanted my sword as a romantic keepsake, even if you treasure it. So what? So what do we make of this?" Her delusion is absolutely wild, right? I only prefer sweet, devoted guys. Not cold, sneaky manipulators like you. Even if you beg like a total parasite, I will never look your way. Stick with me here. I look up, completely confused. You hallucinating long? This fake confidence is wild. You need a healer, fast. But Vera, who always looks down on everyone, totally misses the point of my words. What exactly does that mean? Then, snap. That glowing, spirit sword breaks apart in my hands, piece by piece. Now, it is just a completely useless pile of junk. The broken fragments scatter everywhere, hitting the floor with a beautiful ringing sound I could hear forever. Meanwhile, I quietly hide the particle gun back in my hand. A legendary core sword? Just one tiny zap from my gun, and it shatters. Vera turns pale instantly, horrified. Shaking, she grabs the ruined pieces and lets out a scream that shakes the heavens. My weapon. My dad spent every single coin of our family fortune to forge that blade. I stare with pure disgust. Honestly, you are right. It really does remind me of you. So do me a huge favor. Fall to pieces, just like your precious sword. And maybe I will actually feel better. Back in my tiny room at the sect edge, I pull out the jade mushroom and absorb it. Golden liquid flows warmly down my throat. Now watch closely. Deep warmth blooms perfectly in my core. I feel my broken spirit root finally healing, stitching together perfectly in my soul space. Meanwhile, the system is going completely crazy. Hey player, we have a loser script to follow. You are ruining everything right now. How will we ever finish the mission? I keep calmly absorbing energy and ask smoothly, what exactly is required? Fulfill your tragic destiny. Make it to the final chapter. Fade away. Make everyone feel sorry and become the ultimate hero they never forget. Their endless regret. I exhale softly and swallow the last drop of medicine. There are many ways to cause regret. The more pain I cause them, the deeper their sorrow. Every word gives the system major chills. A terrible vibe settles in. Then, screaming from outside my door, Ash, you menace. Get out here right now. Without hesitating, I check my inventory, grab a grenade, and pull. The system watches in pure panic as I throw it. The ground shakes like an earthquake. You and I know what comes next. Total silence, then a broken groan. Ash, you sneaky cheat. I push the door open and step out, welcoming my guest with a totally fake, chilling smile. Oh, hey Clara, why visit my tiny, humble room today? To what do I owe this? Clara brushes dust off her clothes and wipes dirt from her cheek. Her hair is ruined. She screams loudly, Ash, you total garbage. Bullying Eli is awful, but going after Vera too is just crossing the line. Clara is literally shaking with so much furious anger. As Eli's top fan, she always fights for him first, ready to hand the entire world over to her precious idol on a platter. I tilt my head, totally confused. If a loser like me hurt Vera, does not that make her a bigger loser? Are you sure you are not roasting her right now? Clara chokes on her own anger. Words get stuck. She stutters forever, saying absolutely nothing. Finally, she forces it out through clenched teeth. How can a cruel monster be a senior? You target sweet, innocent Eli every single time. You are a complete disgrace. Oh, really? Tell me, what exact cruel thing have I done? Why do you despise me this much? That stops Clara completely. She tries to list my crimes, but goes silent when she realizes I have not actually done a single bad thing. Honestly, I am the biggest pushover in the sect. Giving up everything and getting zero. Giving Eli medicine, risking my life to save everyone. But her confusion sparks no sudden realization. She still looks at me like utter trash. Every single second spent talking to me physically disgusts her. That smug smile returns, fully believing today is the day I finally get wrecked. The master called you to the discipline hall for punishment. Confess and face the music. I cannot wait to watch how you try to escape this absolute mess. I check my crazy arsenal. Trust me, you will love this part. Stick with me. You and I are about to see my interstellar firepower easily wreck a nascent soul. Expert, because taking down this invincible master is truly an absolute breeze. I step onto my flying sword, zooming straight for the discipline hall. The second I step inside, a massive, invisible weight slams me right down to my knees. The master's freezing voice drops like a hammer. Ash, you purposely harmed your fellow disciples. How do you explain your reckless actions? I clench my jaw, fiercely resisting the crushing weight, secretly browsing my cosmic warehouse for the absolute perfect weapon, while confidently shouting right back, I did absolutely nothing wrong. Please enlighten me, master. Nearby, Vera is supporting Eli, his eyes puffy from crying. They look incredibly dramatic. Eli's arm is completely bandaged. My shot blasted cleanly through his arm and vanished. All that remains are some gaping, ugly holes. For a spoiled guy pampered inside the sect, this intense pain is totally new. His arm tendons are wrecked. Even fully healed, swinging a sword will be forever difficult. My incredible healing serum from my stash could instantly cure this completely clean. But honestly, why would I ever waste my items on him? Vera finally breaks. She drops to her knees, bowing her head down. Master, am officially engaged to Ash. Yes, but he is incredibly cruel and cold. I cannot spend my future with him. I am sincerely begging you right now. Please let us cancel this engagement entirely. From today onward, let us walk completely different paths. She finishes, shooting me a glare of absolute disgust. I just stand there, completely in shock. Can you believe this? I completely freeze, staring at Vera. You want to cancel our engagement? Hearing that slight tremor in my voice, Vera's smug satisfaction seriously doubles. That unbearable arrogance totally returns, acting like a glorious goddess looking down at a tiny, worthless bug. What about that silly old engagement? Just a ridiculous arrangement our parents cooked up when we were simply way too clueless. No matter how hard you chase me, Ash, I will never care. She turns toward Eli warmly. Only the kindest soul deserves me. My jaw completely drops, trembling, point right at Vera. Wait, let me understand. I was genuinely engaged to you? Actually betrothed to someone exactly like you. Someone who barely hit golden core at 30. Vera stiffens. For a second, she is totally speechless. Clara recovers fast, snapping fiercely. How could a terrible guy like you match Eli? It makes perfect sense. Vera totally rejects you. I press my chest, acting incredibly relieved. A massive failure like her? I wouldn't take her for free. She just wastes space. At least she cancelled this herself. That saves me massive trouble. The last thing I need is her dragging me entirely down. Inside the cultivation hall, the room suddenly falls into heavy silence. Everyone knows Vera is the ultimate golden child, the absolute favorite. Everyone tries to impress, and the undisputed top disciple around. You saw that too, right? Everyone just watched me easily wreck her without using any spirit energy. Their precious genius, severely injured. Seeing attention shift, Eli bites his lip, forcing fake sobs to easily reclaim the main spotlight. Master, this is totally my fault. Over a simple jade mushroom, I let things escalate with senior brother. I accept punishment, genuinely hoping our beloved sect remains completely peaceful. He finishes with a flawless bow, gracefully clutching his wounded arm, furrowing his brow in incredibly fake, totally practiced suffering. This legendary acting performance successfully has several female disciples crying on cue. Clara, always eager, jumps in fiercely. Ash, calling yourself a senior brother? You are incredibly unreasonable. Eli has been here 3 years and acts better. I stare at her in total disbelief. Something is entirely wrong with her brain. Eli was the one demanding the mushroom. Eli escalated everything, yet somehow I'm taking the blame. The master's stern expression instantly hardens. Ash, it's one jade mushroom. Hand it over to Eli. I spread my hands open. Master, on my journey back, The wild spirit beast snatched it. I honestly have nothing left to give. Impossible. You're just being incredibly greedy. Stop making up fake stories about spirit beasts. Well, Clara, since you think it's so easy, why don't you march out yourself and grab one for Eli? Trust me, that's where we leave it. Clara turns completely pale, knowing those freezing beast lands are a guaranteed ticket to absolute doom. Stick with me. She backed herself into a corner. She literally has no choice but to puff up her chest and swear she will personally go out and bring one back for Eli. Eli's tears vanish instantly, swapped for a bright, smug smile. He shoots me one final goading look. The master, eager to comfort his precious favorite, totally turns on me. Ash, as the senior brother here, you have shown absolutely zero brotherly love today. Get out of my sight and reflect on your behavior at Frostcliff. For once, I do not argue. I happily agree and walk straight out. Eli follows right behind, playing the gracious host. He leans close, whispering with totally quiet satisfaction. Senior brother, in this entire sect, everyone only sees me. You can never beat me. Nobody will ever stand on your side here. I look at him with pure bewilderment. They are all just useless baggage. Why would I want them behind me? Do I seriously look like I have nothing better to do than play selfless martyr? 10 years surviving the apocalypse taught me one ironclad truth. Hopeless burdens get cut loose early. Keeping them around only slows your progress down. Frostcliff stays frozen solid year-round. A weak cultivator becomes a literal block of ice in minutes. I lazily flick on my energy shield, dialing the temp to a comfortable 77 degrees. The system is practically sobbing with huge relief. Player, you are finally following the script. This is amazing. Interstellar weapons might not beat high-level cultivators anyway. Just lay low, survive until the end, wait for them to regret everything, and the mission finishes itself. I tune it out completely, pulling out my scanner with practiced efficiency. I lock onto Clara's location in seconds. Now watch this. Love makes people stupid, right? She rides her flying sword full speed, hitting those frozen wastes in an absolute blink. Inside, wild spirit beasts roam everywhere. Clara forces herself to charge right into the heart of beast territory, throwing herself into a wild fight she has absolutely no business joining. Her combat skills are laughably basic. Several times, she nearly becomes a spirit beast's literal lunch. The only thing saving her is the massive pile of artifacts she brought along. Barely scraping out alive, she scrambles back, clutching that jade spirit mushroom tightly. On my holographic projector, Clara, totally battered and bruised, races home wearing a super proud grin. The system suddenly gets a terrible feeling. Player, what are you doing? What are you actually doing? I let out a cold laugh. Since love makes people completely blind here, I will bet that even if Clara loses her cultivation forever, she will have zero regrets. Let's find out together. Does Eli matter more, or her very own power? Frostcliff's barrier is zero match for interstellar tech. My mech suit breaks down to the atomic level, slips through the barrier, and reassembles on the other side. I remote pilot the whole thing at absolute full speed. Closing within a few yards of Clara, it turns into a light streak and slams her chest with full force. Clara never even sees it coming. She lets out a loud shriek, plummeting from the sky and crashing unconscious in the middle of nowhere. The mech suit extends its mechanical arm, scanning every inch of her body. Her storage pouch gets thoroughly searched, multiple different times. The system literally covers its eyes, head full of totally wrong ideas. Player, what on earth are you doing? Robbing her. Can you seriously not see that? To ensure absolutely nothing gets missed, I make the mech run a full laser scan. That scan makes everything crystal clear. Aside from the jade spirit mushroom tucked against her chest, every single artifact and spirit item gets totally stripped away. Even the last 2 low-grade spirit stones in her pockets. Gone. Like a locust swarm passing through. Absolutely nothing remains. When looting finishes, the mech's mechanical arm destroys her tendons and energy core, without a single shred of mercy. Now, unless I use a healing pod and a jade spirit mushroom together at once, Clara is completely finished in the cultivation realm, totally and permanently done. Once that wraps up, I finally come back to reality. I grab the jade spirit mushroom the mech retrieved and absorb it on the spot. 2 jade spirit mushrooms in one single day, both completely consumed and absorbed. My cultivation totally explodes. I'm almost strong enough to go head-to-head with Vera, and honestly, I find myself kinda regretting it. I really should have pushed more people to harvest mushrooms. I could have robbed a few more rounds today. Robbing people is infinitely faster than going out harvesting yourself. Ever since my spirit root was destroyed, Clara had plenty to say about it. So your spirit root is gone. Big deal. It is not the end of the world. Why do you have to act so aggressive about it? Too incredibly stingy to share one mushroom. Never even mentioning that I destroyed my own spirit root to save her. Now that it is her cultivation on the line, I imagine she must be just as incredibly generous and understanding. Trust me on this, she surely will not mind losing her path to power forever, becoming someone everybody just bullies. Come along with me. Before entering this harsh world, my role was never the hero, just a minor villain's backup. Cannon fodder? Not a chance. A stepping stone? No way. Not in this lifetime. Honestly, being locked away at Frostcliff is basically a total paradise for me right now. In just 3 days, I completely binged all 17 new film releases. The sect finally notices something is completely off. Clara has been missing for 3 days. Vera absolutely panics and sends everyone searching everywhere. No tracking devices here. This is the cultivation realm. The frantic disciples search for 5 whole days before finally bringing Clara back. Barely breathing. Her deep injuries have crusted over, and her tendons are just a shredded disaster. Seeing Clara covered in severe wounds, Eli instantly screams and totally buries himself right into Vera's arms, seeking immediate comfort. Clara finally wakes up the very next afternoon. Her wrecked tendons feel just like they are being sliced entirely open. Her energy core, bone dry and completely hollow. After years of hard cultivation, she instantly knows her path is totally over. She completely loses it, screaming and thrashing around wildly. Several disciples try to hold her down, but totally fail. Forcing himself to approach, Eli tries calming her down, his face looking super stiff with discomfort. Clara, the master can absolutely fix those torn tendons. Please do not panic. That was carefully spoken. Actually, expertly spoken. He totally dodges the destroyed spirit root issue. Clara furiously shakes her head, trembling, hands tightly locking onto Eli's shoulders in absolute desperation. She desperately clings to him as her final hope. Eli, I am completely ruined just because of you. You cannot just abandon me. Go get a jade spirit mushroom right now. My spirit root might still be saved. Now watch closely. There is absolute zero chance Eli visits the frozen wastes to perish. He is the sect's beloved darling. His whole entire life has been one huge stretch of being constantly waited on. He simply opens his mouth, and some poor cannon fodder, usually me, is immediately dragged out to suffer for his sake. Clara, those frozen wastes are just way too insanely dangerous. My cultivation is way too low. There is absolutely no way I can get one. Even the master avoids going there casually. Then what gives you the right to refuse? Without you, none of this tragedy would have ever happened to me. You absolutely must go get me that mushroom. Understand? This is the very first time anyone has ever screamed at Eli like this. And the person yelling is totally ruined, just a useless backup plan he no longer needs. 2 whole years of being totally adored by the entire sect. And nobody has ever spoken to him this way. In a split second, Eli's spoiled brat temper totally flares up. You chose to fetch that mushroom yourself. Nobody ever forced you. Besides, even if your torn tendons heal, your spirit root is permanently gone. Fixing those tendons only makes you a slightly healthier failure. You see it too, right? Before all this tragedy, Eli kept stringing Clara along as a useful backup. But now she is utterly ruined. Her cultivation path entirely finished. He has absolutely zero reason to look her way. Better to focus his attention entirely on Vera and the master people with actual futures. Clara instantly goes completely rigid, stiff as a wooden post. That tiny little secret she kept hidden away is violently ripped open by Eli without a single drop of mercy. You actually dare call me a failure? From the very exact moment you walked through the sect's gates, every single time, I was right there supporting you. I lost my entire cultivation level just for you. And now, you possess the absolute nerve to look down on me? Right before that last word even leaves her mouth, I casually stroll right into Clara's room. Eli's eyes immediately shift over. He pivots instantly, glaring at me. How dare you show your face here, Ash? If you had not been acting so incredibly stingy with that jade spirit mushroom initially, Clara would never have gone out harvesting for me. Then she would not have ended up destroyed like this. The completely clueless disciples nearby nod along, But Clara, lying on her bed, is definitely not buying it this time. She screams at the absolute top of her lungs. Eli, I went there exclusively for you. Do not you dare pin this on Ash. Now, Eli finally gets that exact perfect opening he wanted. He completely turns on Clara. Fake tears instantly drop. Clara, how could you just accuse me without even thinking first? If it was not for Ash, would any of this tragedy happen to you? I'm completely done here. Slapping his hands over his face, he runs outside, sobbing loudly. A disciple crowd chases him instantly, desperate to comfort their sect idol. The cramped little room falls completely quiet with just the two of us left inside. We silently stare at each other, fighting through immense, agonizing pain. Clara brutally drops to her knees in front of me with a heavy thud. Looking up, sobbing, she begs, Ash, you absolutely have a way to get jade spirit mushrooms, right? You would not just let me perish, would you? I watched this totally broken woman before me with quiet, genuine interest. Something becomes perfectly clear to me now. In this world, nobody had their brains magically switched off by the script. They all possess working minds. Calling me heartless was never actually about the truth. It was just a highly convenient excuse to crush me while winning over Eli. I was simply a stepping stone, and they used me with absolute, practiced ease. Think about it with me. Did my actual truth matter? Nobody ever bothered asking. Stick with me here, the drama is starting. When the walls close in, Clara finally realizes I am her only hope, and she will literally drop to her knees to prove it. Their precious golden child? Just a bunch of bored people picking a pretty face to obsess over for sheer entertainment, pure comedy. But when things actually crash down, all that fake love means absolutely nothing. People will always save themselves first, every single time. The system in my head is giddy. Player, this is your big moment. You have dozens of jade spirit mushrooms in that storage ring. Just hand one over. Play the good guy. The mission? Make Clara cry her eyes out with pure regret by the grand finale. My storage ring does, indeed, hold tons of jade spirit mushrooms. My mech suit casually leveled half a mountain and scooped them all up in one smooth pass. Effortless is an understatement. I turn to face Clara. Actually, I do have a special gift for you. A desperate, hungry light instantly floods Clara's eyes. I casually pull out a massive pile of jade spirit mushrooms, glowing spirit stones, shiny artifacts, and some healing serum. I let a drop fall on my own hand. A nasty gash magically seals shut instantly, not even leaving a single scar. Interstellar tech, at least 5,000 years ahead of this entire cultivation world. Clara's eyes practically pop out of her head. Pure, desperate joy takes over. Thank you, senior. From today on, whatever you need, I will give you my life without a single second thought. Now watch closely here. She barely finishes speaking when I grab a few rusty copper coins instead. I drop them right in front of her. Then, while she stares, I sweep every single treasure back into my storage ring. Who said that was for you? Take these coins. Call it charity. The master gave clear orders. You are totally useless. Now, go sweep the outer sect. The system instantly shrieks. Player, please, just be decent for once. Can we please complete this mission? I am doing the mission. With my ridiculous firepower, surviving until the end is perfectly fine. And that sweet regret you want? Tell me, is Clara feeling it right now? Does she hate herself? System crashes. In a broken world, you crush your inner saint first. The number one rule I learned during the last apocalypse. I will never play the selfless hero. Never. The hope in Clara's eyes vanishes, instantly replaced by pure, absolute terror. You saw this coming, right? She grabs my robe, crying like she is shattering inside. Ash, please. You have so many mushrooms. Just one. That is all I am begging for. Just one. That miracle medicine could heal my tendons. The dark barrel of my particle gun swings toward her hand and fires. At close range, her right hand is completely blasted. Pieces scatter across the floor. The air smells completely burnt. She rolls on the floor, gripping her ruined hand, screaming in pure agony. I casually blow smoke off my particle gun barrel and toss it back into my inventory. So your spirit root is gone. No big deal, right? You love Eli, and Eli is everyone's absolute favorite, darling. A popular guy like him can definitely find a mushroom. Good luck. Clara is now totally powerless. Zero future. Her family will toss her aside without a second thought and pour their money into another daughter who is actually worth it. As for Clara, Once a proud inner disciple, looking down on everyone, she now sweeps floors in the outer sect. That epic fall will haunt her forever. I am humming, casually walking home, when Vera suddenly appears behind me like a literal ghost. Middle of the night, just us two. I immediately step back, keeping safe distance. Vera presses her lips tight. She forces the words out. Ash, why avoid me? Pure confusion in her eyes. She is trying to summon back the old fanboy who obsessed over her, just to feel that sweet worship all over again. I casually reach back, pulling a compact particle stun baton from my storage, gripping it super tight. Of course, I avoid you. A golden core annoyance haunting me like a creep. What if you refuse to leave? Even the dark night cannot hide Vera's furiously sour expression. She laughs coldly. Ash, do not think I am blind to your game. Playing hard to get? You think this gets my attention? Everyone here clearly sees me as heaven's chosen star, pinned down by a nobody. Trust me, you and I will love seeing her ego crash next time. Stick with me here. You're about to see a wild ride. Seriously, if my sex stays this pathetic, I am leaving tomorrow for a way better spot. Vera turns completely pale with intense rage. Swallowing her massive pride, she draws her blade and charges directly at me. Yeah, in pure cultivation tier power, she would absolutely wipe the floor with me. But with my epic gear, 10 of her couldn't even touch me. She rushes in hot, absolutely desperate to prove her superior strength. Zero mercy, aiming right for my head. I instantly activate my energy shield. The second her flashy sword thrusts forward, I blast maximum power straight through my trusty stun baton. Metal conducts electricity, obviously. Before she even blinks, that wild electrical current rips right through her. She totally shrieks like her soul is literally burning up. Without her golden courtier defense, that massive shock would have literally fried her alive. Tomorrow's big trial event is going to be absolutely hilarious. Vera, a totally over-the-top cry echoes out. Eli sprints over fast and dramatically throws himself beside her. His fake acting is pure, absolute cringe. Ash, how could you do something so awful to poor Vera? I calmly wipe down my stun baton, super slowly, then stash it away like an absolute legendary treasure. I was just sparring with trash, helping Vera see exactly how incredibly pathetic she truly is. Pushed way past her absolute breaking point, she totally loses it and screams, Ash, I was actually being super generous, warning you about tomorrow's secret trial and letting you tag along. Since you clearly lack any gratitude, do not bother coming. She perfectly reassembles her smug face, fully expecting me to drop down and beg for a spot. Eli is practically glowing with joy, stepping up to hold her with the completely fake, crafted look of concern. Vera is not that totally harsh. He is barely at foundation stage level 6. Entering that secret realm alone is incredibly dangerous. Hey, he just thinks he is way too awesome, way too arrogant to even walk alongside his own sect. Eli totally milks his nice guy act. Ash, I get you are super jealous. Everyone loves me, but you really cannot gamble with your own life. Now watch closely. I've already crushed a golden core expert twice. Yet these fools still think my foundation stage makes me total dead weight. Is this honestly how the classic anime logic plays out? The plot literally cannot progress unless the cannon fodder gets totally crushed first. Vera shoots Eli a ridiculously soft, gentle gaze. Eli, do not even waste your precious breath on him. I completely cancelled our engagement. Without the Ming clan backing him, he will learn super fast. Foundation tier means absolutely nothing in the cultivation world. That actually sparks a brilliant idea. I freeze mid-step and march to my room, brain buzzing. If foundation tier is truly that completely useless in the cultivation world, what if all my sex sisters simply lost their powers? Their lives would literally be way worse than mine. That secret trial realm only unlocks every 3 years, bringing massive epic rewards, but also absolute, deadly danger. Side by side. The next morning, Vera arrives, looking super sharp, chin held ridiculously high, totally expecting me to come crawling and beg for a team spot. I march straight into the secret realm without giving a single backward glance. Only then does she finally follow, jaw clenched tight, dragging her annoying squad of fanboys and Eli right behind. Tons of epic treasures here are buried deep underground, totally invisible to normal vision. So, I easily whip out my high-tech scan detector. You and I definitely saw this coming. Boom. A massive radar map pops up, Any epic artifact or hidden spirit item is instantly tracked on my screen, perfectly crystal clear. I barely finish prepping my gear, just about to grab that ancient divine sword, when Vera's incredibly annoying voice echoes from right behind me. Wow, look at you, Ash, acting so tough, yet shamelessly trailing right behind us after barely 30 minutes. I slowly turn around to face her. Vera and her whole loyal squad, plus a super chatty Eli, are confidently marching straight toward my spot. The absolute favorite of the group, and everyone is trying so hard to impress her. I was obviously here way before them, yet she claims I am the one following. Vera, our precious junior brother really needs his head checked out. Not every guy who simply walks near you is desperately chasing your attention. That level of delusional confidence, honestly, is not a good look. Hidden completely from their view, I silently launch a microgas grenade, rocketing it directly toward a massive spirit beast creeping around nearby. Vera's composure totally cracks. She sneers, stubborn to the very end. Let's see how long that mouth of yours keeps running. Eli perfectly slips back into his nice guy routine, stepping forward with a sweet smile. Ash, everyone is honestly just trying to protect you. Why do you always have to be so incredibly difficult? Look, I actually have a special cultivation pill my junior disciple crafted just for me. Boosts physical strength. Consider it a friendly gift, Ash. He holds out a tiny box. Vera immediately lets out an annoyed huff. What a total waste of perfectly good medicine on him. I grab it with a heavy frown and peek inside. Just one weirdly murky cultivation pill, smelling faintly of some rare delicate spirit herb. At that exact split second, a loud alarm blares in my ear. Trust me, stick around for this. My system secretly loops a wild warning. Critical levels of arsenic trioxide detected. Let's dive in. You and I know arsenic is bad news. A little makes you sick. A lot means it is game over. The junior disciple nearby is absolutely fuming, hopping mad. That pill was crafted specifically for you alone. Why just hand it off to some random guy? Is he even worthy of my epic cultivation pill? Eli settles into a super smug smirk, totally ready to play the gracious winner and keep his admirer dangling. But then, the words just die in his mouth. A thunderous roar completely shatters the distance. Judging by that insane sound, something huge is charging straight toward us. Vera's expression shifts instantly. She stares into the distance, and suddenly, her pupils just shrink tight. She screams, "High-tier spirit beast, run!" 2 legs against 4, no contest at all. In a flash, that massive beast is right on top of us. Eli immediately dives behind the crowd, scrambling in pure panic. Vera, what do we do? That monster looks terrifying. Vera stays surprisingly chill. She barks orders without a second thought. Ash, you lure the beast away. I will get the others out safely. I stare like she lost her mind. How shamelessly thick is this woman's skin? Or is cannon fodder literally stamped right on my forehead, making her think she can just use me as a shield whenever she wants? Vera, you adore your disciples so much. Why not go lure it yourself? Called out publicly, Vera turns bright red, but she stubbornly holds her ground and scrambles for some weak excuse. The others are way too weak. They need my protection. Now watch closely. You are better at drawing aggro anyway. Oh, so you get to play hero? You go lure the beast, and I will stay back and protect everyone while they escape. Ash, this is really not the time to act petty. If I were pulling this stunt, I would be way more generous, and a whole lot louder. Vera cannot believe I am just completely immune to her guilt trip. With the beast closing in fast, Eli suddenly lights up. I have my spirit crane. It can fly everyone out safely. That spirit crane was a rare gift from the master himself, powerful enough to carry multiple passengers high into the sky. Vera finally exhales. The tiny spirit crane expands in an instant. The terrified disciples absolutely do not hesitate. They desperately scramble onto its back. Eli sweeps a glance over the spacious crane and puts on his most fake, apologetic face ever. Oh no, it is totally full. Ash is not on yet. Whatever shall we do? Vera gives me a freezing smile, just waiting for me to beg. I just wave it off. That thing is a disaster waiting to happen. Even if you begged, I would not get on. My mech suit covers thousands of miles a minute. That flimsy flesh and feather bird does not even come close. Vera finally snaps. Fine, if you are way too good for us, we are done worrying about you. Eli, let us go. The clumsy spirit crane lumbers into the air and wobbles away into the distance. The beast watches its prey escape and completely loses its mind. With a furious roar, it snaps its massive jaws wide open and launches itself straight at me. It gets halfway, then my energy shield sends it slamming hard backward. I pull out my micro-aerial sonar device and play a special frequency no ordinary human can even hear. The giant beast freezes. It stops attacking instantly, drops right to the ground and kneels. Totally submissive. I know what you are thinking, right? Interstellar sonar tech can replicate any beast language. I just played a direct command from the Beast King. Every beast is hardwired to obey the Beast King. It is buried deep inside their instincts, totally impossible to resist. By now, that spirit crane is long gone. Nothing but a tiny black dot slowly fading into the horizon. It must be seriously overloaded. The once graceful spirit crane thrashes its wings in desperation, looking way more like a fat, clumsy goose than a divine creature. I calmly haul a huge laser cannon from my storage and take steady aim at that wobbling spirit crane up above. The system is literally trembling inside my head. Player, what are you doing now? I flash a truly wicked grin. I flip on auto tracking and slam fire. A shell screams through the sky, shooting those jerks down. Time they finally learned that against real futuristic technology, all their cute spirit energy is just an absolute joke. A massive boom rolls across the sky. A brilliant, epic explosion blooms in midair. That amazing sound, I have not heard it in so long. It gets my adrenaline pumping, every pore wide open with pure satisfaction. I find a comfortable hilltop, pull out my holographic projector, and happily settle in for the live broadcast. The group, who thought they had safely escaped, gets blindsided by the sudden blast. Every single one of them is stunned senseless, Eli most of all. In the total chaos, he is screaming at the top of his lungs. It is your fault. You slowed the crane down. Get off right now. When life is on the line, nobody volunteers to jump. The panicking disciples cling to the crane for dear life. And that once pampered divine bird gets yanked completely half-bald in the chaotic process. The shell has its own guidance system. It hits the spirit crane square in the head, leaving absolutely nothing above the neck but a gaping burnt crater. So what do you and I take from this? Karma hits hard. They drop like dumplings, and the beast charges straight at Eli. Let's dive right into the madness. The sweet junior act is over. He shoves the nearest girl straight into the beast. The beast tears her right arm clean off, crunching it like absolute paper. The terrible sound echoes. She faints from pure agony instantly. Meanwhile, I just dust off my hands and whip out some sunflower seeds. I casually light some incense, while my mech suit reaches out to pick some fresh wild fruits just for me. My internal system interface is absolutely terrified, but I smack it out of hiding and force it to pour my tea, its little digital hands shaking the entire time. On my glowing holographic screen, the absolute chaos continues. Now watch closely. Without her special sword, Vera's power completely tanks. She barely lands 2 hits before the venom starts melting her energy core, which is exactly what they did to my spirit root not too long ago. The rest of the team is totally wrecked, wounded, crushed, completely broken down, but nobody is actually gone. When I commanded that monster earlier, I made my rules crystal clear. Leave them breathing. Let them survive as absolute wrecks. Let's see if they still want to play the golden child game now. The monster toys with them like mice, leaving them absolutely ruined before walking away. Out of that whole group, only Vera is barely standing. Eli literally used the girls as human shields, so he only lost half his cultivation level. I dig through my inventory and pull out a literal atomic bomb. The system panics. Player, what are you doing with that? That thing has way too much firepower. You will flatten this entire realm. I just stare at a target miles away. There is a legendary divine sword buried under that huge mountain, just way too deep. Without this bomb, a basic foundation tier cultivator like me could dig for a century and never, ever reach it. I give the whining system a kick and fly my mech straight toward the target. This trial realm is absolutely stunning. It is the kind of view I never saw during 10 years in the zombie wasteland. I know what you are thinking. Is she really gonna do it? Oh yeah. I pop my shields and casually toss the warhead at the mountain. An earth-shattering boom rips the air. A massive wall of scorching heat rolls in from absolutely everywhere. Even behind 30-layered shields, I feel that wild shockwave slam right into me. Half the zone crumbles instantly. At the blast center, absolutely nothing is left standing. Nothing remains except one glowing, legendary sword, totally living up to its divine hype. There is not a single scratch on it. My mech grabs it and drops it into my hand. The sword seems pretty shaken by the nuke, which is totally fair. It does not even care that I am only beginner tier. It accepts me as master immediately. I got exactly what I wanted. I stroll out of the zone feeling fantastic. Outside, my lovely sect members are looking absolutely miserable right now. Vera's core is literally turning black. The other kids are sprawled out, crying hard. The potion maker got it the worst. Her arm is gone. She can totally forget about training. She cannot even carry water or chop wood for the sect anymore. Our master never saw this coming. Every single student who went inside came out completely ruined. This whole faction is on the verge of total collapse. Out of pure toxic habit, the master turns all his anger on me. Ash, what kind of senior are you? How did your sisters end up so ruined? I just stare at them calmly. Vera stays completely silent. Eli hides himself in the very back row, quiet as a mouse. Hey, everyone fought over who got to protect precious Eli. This is just the result. Sacrificing yourself for your crush is super noble, right? I'm sure they have zero regrets. The potion girl clutches her completely wrecked shoulder, sobbing so hard she can barely breathe. That is not what happened. Eli dragged me right into the monster himself. That is why I am ruined. Master, you must help me. I still want to make potions. I crack open another sunflower seed. I could have easily escaped. He literally tripped me and shoved me at the monster. My magic root is shattered. Master, please save my future. That is the third sister. I spit out 2 shells. So much for the script. It is finally crumbling. The master's face cycles through a dozen different emotions instantly. But since he adores Eli and his golden boy is perfectly fine, he completely ignores the obvious truth. Zero punishment. Eli plays the victim like a pro. And just like that, the script loops around again. The master turns his heavy blame on me. Ash, your classmates are ruined. Why are you perfectly fine? What do you and I make of this? He acts like me surviving is the absolute worst crime ever. Stick with me here. You and I are about to watch me slowly draw this ancient divine sword. Surrounded by absolute envy and pure jealousy, I was busy grabbing a legendary weapon. No time to babysit a pack of losers. The master's greedy eyes lock onto my new sword instantly. The absolute greed on his face is totally obvious. His suffering disciples are completely forgotten. As the sect leader, he can easily recruit a brand new batch of disciples anytime. Weaklings just come and go. But an ancient divine sword absolutely does not. Ash, you actually found a treasure like this? Hand it to your master right now. I put the sword away, glaring like he is dirt on my shoe. Hand it over to you? As if you actually deserve it. Absolute silence drops over the entire crowd. All their jealousy instantly evaporates into sheer panic. They stare at me like I am completely finished. A nascent soul, master. Taking me out requires exactly one single move. He has clearly decided to crush me today. Stealing artifacts by force is totally routine in the cultivation world. He channels his massive spirit energy, charging straight at me, screaming, "You insolent brat! How dare you defy your own master? Since you refuse to hand over the weapon, today, banish you forever." Late-stage nascent soul pressure completely dwarfs gold core strength by a terrifyingly massive margin. Intense spirit energy comes crashing down from every single direction. I just activate my energy shield without breaking a sweat. 12 perfect layers stacked clean. This small fry burns through exactly 3 before he is already completely running on empty. He stares at me completely dumbfounded, totally unable to comprehend how his full-power nascent soul strike did not even scratch my skin. Honestly, no surprise, because interstellar-era energy shields remain completely transparent and totally invisible. You and I know I look like a godlike cheater right now, just effortlessly tanking his full nascent soul assault. I casually fold my arms across my chest, giving him a super cold stare. Hey, master, according to our sect rules, if a disciple defeats their master, they actually get to take over the position. Does that rule still apply? Countless shocked eyes immediately turn toward the master. He is completely backed into a tight corner with zero escape. Deep down, he absolutely refuses to take a foundation stage. Nobody seriously at all. A mere foundation rookie actually challenging a true nascent master. You have zero idea where you stand. Today, I clean house and send you, insolent brat, straight to your ultimate defeat. His eyes flare with rage. He gathers every last drop of power, winding up his absolutely strongest move. A massive tidal wave of spirit energy crashes toward me, almost as wild as that atomic bomb shockwave from earlier. Almost. But compared to a real atomic bomb, this is basically just background noise. Every single cultivator has one massive weakness. Huge moves drain energy. Throw out a few of those, and you are completely running on empty. Recharging means sitting totally still. Letting those spirit roots refill. By the time they fill up, the moment is long gone. This time, exactly 6 of my 12 shield layers shatter. I smoothly pull my particle handgun out. The second it is out, I trigger transformation mode, reshaping it perfectly into a long sword that fits this cultivation world. I raise it way up high and summon heavenly lightning down from the sky. In this cultivation realm, calling down heavenly lightning is an epic technique reserved exclusively for soul transformation masters. I quietly sneak a glance at the invisible thunder device overhead. Back in the interstellar realm, you buy this gadget from a street vendor, $9.99, totally free shipping, and they even throw in a free cleaning cloth. Makes you and me laugh, right? Super cheap. Sure, but is it effective? Absolutely. An ultra-high voltage surge drops from the sky instantly, channeling straight down through my particle sword and blasting right into the shocked master. The huge boom actually shakes the ground beneath our feet. The master goes flying like a broken kite, getting hurled hundreds of meters through the air. His spirit root turns to complete ash, and he hits the ground, coughing violently. The crowd stares back with even wider, totally terrified eyes. Everyone except Vera, this gold core, weakling, burns with jealousy. But underneath, I catch a flicker of something completely different. Genuine awe. I just roll my eyes at her. Because honestly, Vera will always be a total lost cause to me. Back in our interstellar realm, literal teenagers pilot giant mech suits into battle against insect hordes. Vera is well past 30, basically pushing middle age, barely pulling her weight. She would honestly get rejected as a simple woodcutter at any major sect. A total weakling. I poked the system. Hey, wanna see what a real beloved script actually looks like? The system literally trembles in response. What are you planning now? I slowly pull out one single shiny stalk of Jade Buddha branch. If a Jade Spirit Mushroom fixes a spirit root, then this legendary Jade Buddha branch sits in another entire league. It literally restores a fully destroyed spirit root to perfection. I dangle it in front of the crowd's hungry wolf stares, putting on a dramatic little show of hesitation. I just happened to grab this Jade Buddha branch back inside the trial realm. Just the one, though. Now, who should actually get it? So what do we learn here? Real power steals the show. Eli could have 10 halos stacked, and nobody would even look at him. Stick with me, everyone is fighting for this one. Lifeline. In this wild cultivation world, power is absolutely everything. Lose your power, and you become an ant, crushed easily by anyone who feels like it. A sad life of getting pushed around, never knowing when it ends. Look closely, Vera is the fastest to move. She crawls right over, playing the ultimate sympathy card. Ash, we have been engaged forever. I am your bride. That Jade Buddha branch is mine. Nonsense. I raised Ash myself. That magical medicine belongs to your master. Besides, Vera canceled that engagement. What bride? Then another girl chimes in. Ash, you said I was your absolute favorite when I first joined. I have dreamed of making potions my whole life. Without my spirit root, how am I supposed to even exist? Just for a second, I almost feel like the glorious main character. Meanwhile, Eli gets shoved hard into the corner. Not a single person looks at him, let alone offers him the magical medicine. I toss the jade branch up. The whole crowd lunges for it like wild, hungry animals. But the tricky old fox always wins. The master grabs it and gulps it down in one giant bite. The second he swallows, I slap my hands over my face, pretending to be completely horrified. Oh no, that cultivation pill Eli handed me earlier? I totally mixed it right into the Jade Buddha branch juice. The words barely leave my mouth before the master makes a totally miserable noise and spits out a massive puddle of black venom. The arsenic is doing its magic. I put on my sweetest innocent face. Master, are you okay? What is happening? A nascent soul stage fighter cannot just perish from some basic poison. But that jade branch, loaded with the toxin, completely melted his spirit root. He is ruined. There is absolutely no coming back from this. The master is so incredibly furious that he spins around and smacks Eli clean off his feet. Their favorite golden boy FLIs like a ragdoll, hitting the ground, totally wrecked. The master does not even care. He dives straight for me, hugs my leg tight, and starts crying loudly. Ash, my spirit root is almost completely gone. Please, give me one more stalk. I am begging you. I completely ignore his words and look up. Dark demon energy is swirling up there, getting heavier and thicker by the second. Even my star-grade weapons cannot make an effect like that. The system in my head starts panicking. Player, we are finished. That is the demon lord of this world. His battle power completely matches the transcendent stage. I narrow my eyes at the dark clouds. The terrifying demon lord floats down, showing pure contempt for everyone here. Now watch this twist. He senses a massive energy spike here. Did a divine weapon just appear? Then it hits me. The atomic bomb I detonated inside the trial realm. That massive explosion was so huge it pulled him from miles away. In this cultivation world, only a top-tier divine weapon could make a crazy blast that incredibly massive. This demon lord clearly has zero respect for these weak little bugs. He takes one look at the master, shaking like a leaf, and his disgust just grows. A totally worthless sect like this one? He could erase it completely with the simple flick of his wrist. The demon lord stays totally quiet. He raises his hand to wipe out the whole sect. I instantly throw out every energy shield I have, stack 80 invisible layers around myself. One casual, effortless strike from the boss punches straight through 78 of those shields. 2 layers remain. Both are cracking. You and I know this is it. The ultimate showdown of ancient cultivation versus modern technology. I sharpen every single sense I have and whip out my laser gun. Catching him totally off guard, I fire a blast straight at his forehead. Just as I thought, the laser cannot reach him. His celestial guard aura is like an unbreakable brick wall. A foundation stage fighter with this insane ability? The demon lord finally drops his bored attitude. He is getting totally serious now. The dark energy gets incredibly thick. Some weak disciples are literally crying. If I fail to win this fight, the entire sect falls with me. Good thing my storage is full. With a thought, I command every single particle bomb and nanobot to throw themselves at the boss. With zero sense of self-preservation, demon cultivators work just like the rest. It all completely runs on their internal energy. Once his dark energy is drained, he becomes an ordinary guy. My cool weapons are draining him super fast. When particle weapons get destroyed, they simply reassemble in the bright sunlight and return, attacking without rest. Absolutely endless, like bugs that refuse to fall. With half his energy gone, the demon boss finally loses his cool patience. He roars loudly and winds up a massive finishing move, clearly meant to end me instantly. Now, the dark energy is a fraction away from me. I completely vanish. I reappear dozens of miles away, then blink again, landing straight behind the boss. 10 atomic bombs. And trust me, watching my mech drop them right at his feet is pure comedy. Only 80 shield layers explode at once, blocking a heat wave that could vaporize everything. The demon lord is finally completely gone. Just Ash left. I let out a deep breath. Surrounded by totally shocked stares, I check my storage. My weapons are nearly empty. Stick with me, because this gets wild. The system starts screaming. The heavenly Tao is absolutely furious about me using interstellar tech here. You need to leave immediately. I want to scream so badly. Can I just blow up the heavenly Tao instead? Absolutely not. It can seize every weapon you own. Plus, in the original story, you were meant to get easily crushed by the demon lord. Fighting him early totally breaks the rules. That counts as triggering a fatal plot violation. Fine, I am nothing if not practical. I will go. The system clearly doubts me. Player, you are actually willing to follow the script? Absolutely. But you are going to help me put on an epic show first. After some heavy negotiating and promises, the system reluctantly agrees to my plan. I turn toward the totally terrified crowd on the ground. Vera, always the total opportunist, is the first one to react. Ash, she yells, eyes completely lighting up. Did you just reach the transcendent stage? You defeated the demon lord. I'm telling my clan right now. Let us pick a date for our wedding. Eli grabs his injuries and totally snarls. Vera, literally yesterday, you said you were going to marry me. How do you flip sides that fast? Marry you? Vera's face twists with pure disgust. 2 years in the sect, and you still have not formed a gold core. Did you really think I would ever look at you? I clicked my tongue twice. Right. Like I would ever look at you either. Time is seriously running out. The heavenly Tao has given its final warning. I need to jump to the next world and get back to work. Watch this carefully. I look up. The system projects a massive AI hologram, looking exactly like the heavenly Tao descending in ultimate judgment. I allow myself a tiny smile, wrapping the particle energy entirely around my body. The second the current flows, I absolutely blaze with light, like a god. The entire crowd goes dead silent. Every jaw drops. The stealth aircraft slowly lifts me into the air. This whole scene looks exactly like a legendary ascension happening in broad daylight. Then an ancient voice echoes down from above. Ash, do you consent to ascend and become a god? Watching the system overact so much, I bite back a laugh and reply, one word at a time. Your disciple consents. Instantly, all the disciples of the Jade Cauldron sect drop to their knees in a massive wave. Someone screams in a frenzy. That is the voice of the heavenly Tao. Ash is actually ascending to godhood. Everyone completely loses their minds. There has not been an ascension in tens of thousands of years. And today, they are watching one happen right in front of them. The fake heavenly Tao voice keeps spinning its story. If you have a master, you may bring them with you to ascend. The master frantically scrambles over like a man possessed, slamming his forehead straight into the dirt. I am Ash's master. I am his. I brutally cut him off. Your disciple was expelled from the sect. I have absolutely no master. If you have a wife, she may accompany you. Your disciple's engagement was completely broken off. I stand totally alone. And your sect brothers and sisters? Since you were expelled, you have none. The heavenly Tao lets out a long, incredibly theatrical sigh. Then so be it. You shall ascend alone. Works perfectly for me. The stealth aircraft smoothly carries me higher and higher. You see it, right? To everyone below, I am ascending to the divine realm, becoming an untouchable god. Vera completely breaks down. She ignores her wounds entirely, screaming like she has totally lost her mind. Ash, I am your fiancé. Our engagement was never officially cancelled. Take me with you to the divine realm. But I am already way too high, too far. I cannot make out a single word she is screaming, only that it gives me a massive headache. The second we are out of sight, the system pulls me entirely out of the cultivation realm. One quick day of rest, then right back to work in the interstellar realm. Through the surveillance replay, I watch everything unfold. After I left, the Jade Cauldron sect completely descended into absolute total chaos. Her cultivation is completely gone. The exact moment the Ming clan heard that the ex she dumped ascended to godhood at 22, they literally threw her out on the spot, absolutely terrified of being associated with her. The illegitimate younger sister Vera always looked down on steps right into her place, officially becoming the very next clan head. The once untouchable senior disciple becomes the most notorious madwoman in the cultivation realm, constantly screaming at random strangers, "My husband has finally ascended to godhood. None of you are worthy of me. He will come back for me. He will take me to the divine realm someday." As for the master, with his cultivation completely destroyed, his sect leader position is permanently gone. Every brutal rule he once set for others comes right back to punish him personally. A guy who was once the head of an entire sect is now reduced to sweeping floors for outer disciples. He is honestly not much saner than Vera. Every time someone gives him trouble, he collapses into a totally raving meltdown. My beloved disciple has ascended to godhood. When he returns, you will all pay. And trust me, you, and I know the other disciples fare no better. Stick with me here. Some just get kicked out to survive alone, while others are forced to farm and chop wood. And little darling Eli, now that his protectors are shattered wrecks, absolutely, nobody has the energy to pamper him anymore. The desperate mob takes everything he owns. Every single rare treasure is snatched, not even leaving one tiny snack behind. With zero cultivation, Eli becomes totally useless. The master even considers making him a living cultivation vessel to restore power. He only drops it because Eli's spirit root is totally trashed. That golden boy halo, completely shattered. Eli turns into the absolute biggest nobody in the entire cultivation world. Those same cultivators who once worshipped him now just laugh. They call him a total jinx, claiming the Jade Cauldron sect might have fully ascended with Ashif. He wasn't around. Now watch this pivot. I turn away, grabbing my own mech suit controls instead. Right in front of me, the endless, breathtaking, starry galaxy. My tiny mech blasts through deep space at max speed. Massive planets zooming past me like mere specks of dust. Tomorrow, I lead the entire Blue Star army into our final epic showdown against that terrifying insect horde. Meanwhile, my system keeps blabbering in my head, endlessly gossiping about that old Cultivation realm drama. Honestly, I really could not care less. I simply have way too much to do, and real, important goals waiting for me. So what do you and I take away? Let those old Cultivation grudges stay buried in the past. They honestly have absolutely nothing to do with me anymore.